Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's easy level puzzle is called Foggy Doublers by Visumation, and here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 without repeats in every row, column, and box. Digits in a cage sum to the small clue in that cage. Actually, I would not put it that way. I would say values in a cage. I would say that the value of each digit in a cage sums to the small clue in that cage. And the values of the digits on an arrow sum to the value in the attached circle. Why I'm making this distinction will be clear in a little bit. So, for example, we have a cage here, and 3 digits add up to 28. So obviously, this doesn't work with a normal Sudoku rule set. And that's because we'll be explaining things later. But basically, the values of these 3 cells must add up to 28. And as part of the set, you also have doubled cells. So you could have a value of, say, 12, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good solution, but nothing coming to mind. 12, 8, and 8 would be possible, potentially. Well, not really. But that's an example of the values, essentially, of the cells in the cage adding up to the number in the top left corner, right? Because 12, 8, and 8 add up to 28, so therefore that works for that cage. Obviously, that's not going to necessarily work because of how you get those values, but we'll get to that later. Arrows are similar. The values of the cells on the arrow sum to the value of the cell in the attached circle. We don't have an arrow, but if we gave an example, say this was the circle and you had an arrow like of that length, these 2 cells, the values of those would sum up to the value of what the circle had. So that's an example of how arrows work. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Okay, so it's not digits. It's actually values separated by a white dot. Values of cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. So if there was a white dot here, in between these 2 cells, if this had a value of 8, this would have to be a value of 7 or 9 to maintain these white crop key dot rules. And these are crop key dots for the dots. In addition, digits separated by a black dot are in a 1-to-2 ratio. So this is, and it's not digits, it's values of the cells separated by a black dot are in 1-to-2 ratio. And these are both black dots. So if this were, say, a 6, this could be a 3 or a 12 in value. We don't know, actually, because it depends on the next rule set, which is there are 9 doubled cells in the grid. 1 in every row, column, and 3x3 box, representing the digits 1 through 9 once. So every doubled cell in There are 9 double cells in the grid. Each of them can contain the digits 1 through 9, so there's no repeats in the double cells. And doubler cells count double their value towards the above rule, which is why I kept saying the value of the cell is what sums up to the cages or the count towards the white dots or the black dots, the black Kropke dots, and also add up to the sum of on the arrows. Anyways, and they count as double their value. So say you had a doubler cell here, right? If this were a 6, this would be value-wise be 12. So if the digit 6 were in its doubler cell here, and say this was a doubler cell, it would have a value of 12. And that's how doubler cells work. Additionally, the grid is partially covered in fog. The fog will clear in surrounding cells when a digit is placed correctly. And in fog of war puzzles, no guessing is required because that sort of defeats the purpose of having fog of war, right? That's part of the logic. It's trying to logic out everything that you can in the puzzle because it should be able to be logicked out. Otherwise, it's not really a good puzzle. So all these puzzles are good puzzles, or have been judged good by the vast majority of the Logic Masters Germany forum. So you should be able to logic this out too. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so we have 3 cells adding up to 28. If you don't have a doubler, that can never be the case, right? Because the most would be 7 plus 8 plus 9, which adds up to 24. Therefore, you need a doubler in one of these 3 cells, which means the rest of the cells cannot be doubler cells. We're going to mark those as red. Now, the thing is, since one of them is doubled, and it has to be a value that's greater than 9, right? Because otherwise, it just doesn't work, right? If you have a doubled cell and it's less than 9, say it's 9, 9, and this is 8, that would add up to 26 at most. So the double celled has to be a double-digit value, essentially, to add up to 28, right? Because you could have, at most, a value of 9 plus 8, which is 17. So the double value has to be at least 12. So it's either 12, and it could be 12, 14, 16, or 18, right? But the thing is, these both are in a 1-to-2 ratio with the same digit. Well, then it can't be the doubled one, right? Because the doubled one means that it's a 1-to-2 ratio with the same digit, right? That it's being doubled. So that's not possible. So these both cannot be the doubled cell, which means this is the doubled cell, and this must be regular values here. Well, anytime you have 3 regular values altogether, separated by a black Kropke dot, it can only be 124 or 248. And since it cannot be 1, 2, and 4 because that would add up to only 5. And this doubled value can't go add up to 23. So it must be specifically 2 and 8. And this has to be 4. And this has to be 9. That's doubled. So therefore, because 2 and 8 add up to 10, 9 doubled adds up to 18. So that adds up to 28 in total. So therefore, this is 4 and this is 9 as the doubler. This 4 is in the center of a circle, so this must be, well, okay, we know these can't be doublers because there's only one doubler per row and column and box. This is either 1 or 3, right? Because you can only double values, and this arrow must be at least 2 digits. And it can't be 3 digits because then that would be already bigger than, like, you would have to have 1, 2, and 3 at minimum. So this must be just 2 digits adding up to a 4, which means it must be a 3 and a 1. Well, if this were a 1, it can only be doubled with a 2, but we already have a 2-8 pair in box 1, which eliminates 2 from the rest of the box. So this must be a 3, and this must be a 1. And this can't be doubled because it has to be 1 in value. This must be a 6 in value. And this has to be a 2 in value. Because 1 has to be in a 1 to 2 ratio with a 2 in value, and the 2 by itself has to be there. So this is not doubled again. This is a 2 cells, sorry, that add up to 16. Well, this value must be 14, right? Because it's 16 minus 2. So this is the doubled cell, and it must be a 7. So this is 14 in value plus these 2 digits. Sorry, which is the sum of these 2 digits. So it's either 5, 9 or 6, 8. We're not sure which. The rest of these cannot be doubled. So therefore, yeah, this can't be doubled. This cannot be doubled. These are consecutive values. We have 1, 5, and 7 left. This has to be 1 and 5. This must be 7 because that's the only possibility in box 1 left. So this adds up to 6. This cannot be 1 or 2 because it's in a 1 to 2 ratio with another digit. But if this were 1 and 2 specifically, so this is 6 at least, and if we try to make this a single digit, not a double digit or doubled cell, this would have to be specifically 1 and 2. If that's the case, this can never be 1 because this would have, the 2 would also have to be one of these 2 cells, and so therefore that would be 2, and therefore this wouldn't work. Or if we tried to make this 2, this can't be 1, obviously, because we need the 1 also here, and this could not be 4 either, because this 4 would eliminate that possibility. So this then has to be the doubled one. It has to be a doubled cell. So none of these are doubled. None of these are doubled. Right, and the 2 can't be with a 2 doubled, obviously, so that doesn't work either. Therefore, this must be either 5, 6, or 8 doubled. If this is a 5, this would have to be a 6, because that's 10 and 6 adding up to 16. If this is a 6, this would have to be a 4, because that's 6 doubled, which is 12 plus 4. If this is 8 doubled, then this has to be 2, because this would add up. No, that doesn't work. 8 doesn't work, so this has to be 5 and 6. 5 doubled with 6. So that's 16 added together. 6 doubled, which is 12 plus 4. So either way, the 6 has to be one of these two cells. So if this is 5, this would then have to be 3 specifically. Well, it could be 1 here. So 1 and 3 could be with 2 and 6. This would be 1 or 3 also, because this would add up to 4. This would add up to 6. If this is 6, then this could be 1, 5. Or it cannot be 2, 4. So either way, the 1 has to be one of these cells. The 5 cannot be in the doubled cell. This can't be 3 either. This can't be 2 and 4 because this would be 6, and therefore this would have to be 4. So that would eliminate 2 and 4 as that possibility. So either way, this has to be 1, 5 or 1, 3. If this is 3 and 1, this can never be 5 because 5 can never be in a double area. So if this is 3, this is 6 in value, and this would have to be 1 next to a 2 in value. If this is 1 and this is 2 in value, this has to be 5 next to a 4, but it cannot be 2 doubled. It could be a 3 doubled, but they can't have a 3 there. Or a 6. It can't be 6 actually either. So the 5 can only be consecutive with 4, 2 doubled, or 6, or 3 doubled. But that's not possible for any of those 5. So this must be then a 1. Right? Oh, wait, no. This can be 7, too. I forgot about that. So this is 7 and 2. I don't know how I got 8 there. So if this is 7, this could be a lot of things then. This would be 14 total. So this is 6. This would be 8 then. So it could be 1, 7, but the 7 can't be in a doubled spot. It could be 3, 5. Okay, well that works. It can't be 2, 6 because this would be 2 if with the 7. If this is 3, 5, again, this could be 4 or 2. Actually, yeah, this could be, so this could be 2 in value. This could be a 4 in value. Forgot about that. So this could be 4 or 2. Actually, we don't know if this is a 1. I made a mistake that this could be a 7 too. So this is either, if this is 5, obviously this is 1, 3, because this adds up to 10, and this is specifically 4. And this has to be doubled. Oh, it can't be 7, because this can't be 7. Therefore, this is 5 or 6. Right, so this does have to be 1. Either way then, if this is 1 doubled to 2, or this is 1 consecutive with 2, it has to be 2 in value. So there has to be a 2 here. The 3 can be doubled to a 6. 5 cannot be here, obviously, because 5 is not double anything. If you double 5, that would have to have 10, which would then be 5 doubled, which is not possible because we already have a 5 there. This could be 1 consecutive with 2 or 5 consecutive with 4. It cannot be 5 consecutive with 2 doubled because we know the other digit has to be a 1, and the 1 always has to be with a 2. The 5 could technically be with a 3 doubled, but the 3 cannot be here either. So this can't be 6, this can't be 3. This can't be 2. So either way, this does have to have a 6 here. Oh, these 3 digits add up to 12. And we cannot have a 1 or 2 there. This must be 3, 4, 5, which means this can't be 5 or 9. So now we have a 6-8-6-8 pair in box 2 and row 2, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the box and the rest of the row. Therefore, this can only be 9, this can only be 2, and this can only be 8. The rest of these numbers are 1, 2, and 6. The rest of these numbers are 5, 7, 9, and the rest of these numbers are 3, 4, and 8. This cannot be doubled, because if this were doubled, it would not be consecutive with 6 or 8, right? Because this would be at least 10 if it were doubled. So this is not doubled. One of these two is doubled, and it cannot be the 7 or 9, because we already have a 7 doubled and we already have a 9 doubled. Therefore, it must be a 5 here that's being doubled. So therefore, this cannot be 5. This is 7 or 9. The 5 is doubled, so this can no longer be 5 doubled. This must be a 6 that's doubled, which makes this is 6 doubled with a 4. So this adds up to, this is 12. So this must be 6, and this must be 6, which means this is a 1, and this is a 5. The 1 is in a 1 to 2 ratio with a 2 only. So this is 1, making this is 5. This is a 1. The 5 is only consecutive with a 4, so this is a 4. Now, this could be 3 or 5. We're not sure which. These cannot be doubled in value, because if they were, then that would break the consecutiveness or the 1 to 2 ratio. So one of these is doubled, which means this can't be doubled. The rest of the digits here, what are they? It could be 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And obviously 9 cannot be here, 8 can't be here, and 7 can't be here. This can never be 3, because it would be at most 3. It can't be 3 or 6. If it's 9, this then has to be 3 and 6, but then this would have to be doubled, because the 9 cannot be doubled. But then that doesn't work, because then this would be at least 12. Because a 3 would be doubled, that would add up to 6, plus a 6, which would be essentially 12. So this cannot be 9. This has to be 8 doubled, specifically. So this can't be doubled, and these 3 can't be doubled. So one of these is doubled. This is specifically 1, 2, and 9. And we know these two are part of the 9 cell, so this can never have a 9 here. So this has to be a 9 here. Because this has to be, 9 obviously cannot be part of a 9 cell, which is greater than 1 cell. Sorry, a 9 cage, which has more than 1 cell. So this must be a 9. This is 1 and 2. And it could be with a 3 that's doubled, or it could be with 6. We're not sure which. Well, where's the 9 now? This can't be 8. We have a 3, 6, 7 triplet in box 4, which eliminates 3, 6, and 7 from the rest of the box. This must be 9. This has to be 3, 6, or 7. We're not sure which. This is 3 or 5. This adds up to 16, so this must be a 7. Which means these can't be 7. These 3 add up to 16. This can't be 9. The rest of, okay, this can't be 6 because of that 6. So this must be a 3. This must be a 6. The rest of these digits are 4, 5, and 8. They add up to 16. So it could be 9 with a 3 and a 4. That's possible. So this would be, but this can't be 4 because of this. So this can't be 3 and 4. Therefore, this cannot be 9. Where can the 9 be then? 9 can't be here because that can't be 9, obviously. This actually has to be 1, 2, 3, or 5 here. Right? Because it can't be 7, 8, and 9. It cannot be 4 or 6. These are only 1, 2, 3, or 5. Therefore, and this can't be 1 or this can't be 1 or 2. We have a 3, 5, 3, 5 pair in box 5, which eliminates 3 and 5 from the rest of the box. We also have it in column 4, which eliminates 3 and 5 from the rest of the column. So therefore, this must be 4, which means these can't be 4. We now have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in box 5, which eliminates 1 and 2 from the rest of the box. And these can't be 9. So where's the 9? It has to be here. Which means these two, and these are consecutive, we already knew that. This is 3, 5, and therefore that adds up to 8. This must be then an 8 to add up to 16. This has to be a 9 because this can't be 9, so this has to be 7. This must be specifically 7 or 8. 7 or 8 can only be consecutive with another 7 or 8. Oh, I guess it could be something doubled. So this could be doubled in value. We don't know what that is then. We have a 7, 8, 7, 8 pair in column 6, which eliminates 7 and 8 from the rest of the column. Therefore, this is 6, which makes this an 8. 6 can only be consecutive with 7. So this is 7, which means none of these can be 7. This must add up to 9 for these 3 digits. You don't have a 4. You cannot have 1, 3, 5 because that eliminates all possibilities for that cell. So it must be specifically 1, 2, and 6. So this is also 3 or 5. The 1 could be with a 2. The 2 could be with 1 or 4, and the 6 could be with a 3. Oh, but it could be doubled in value? But no, you can't have doubled in value next to a black Kropke dot. Unless it's like specifically 2 doubled into 8, which is not the case here, right? Because obviously if you doubled the same number and it's the same value as it's the same, yeah, it just does, yeah, it doesn't work that way. This is 1, 2, 6. This can't be 1 and 2 because if this were 1 and 2, that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell, and this can't be 8. Therefore, neither of these can be 1. It could be 2 with 4, but this cannot be 2 here. Okay. This could be 7 or 8, or it could be a 3 doubled. So this could be 7, 8, or 3. We're not sure which. One of these has to be a 1. What are the remaining digits here? It's 2, 7, 8, or 9. But this can't be 7. This can't be 7. If this is a 3 doubled, it has to be consecutive with a 7. If it's an 8, it has to be consecutive with a 7. So either way, this is 7. So this is 7, this is 8. Which means none of these can be 8. So this could be 2 or 9 with a 1 being doubled. What are the other digits here? This could be 1, 3, 5, or 8. We're not told much there. This has to be 3, 4, 5, or 6. We're not sure which. Okay. could be 3 doubled. Ah, this has to be 3 doubled. But we don't know which one is the 3. This could still be 6 here, and then you have a 3 doubled here, right? And those are all still valid. So this has to be a 3 doubled. This cannot have a 3 doubled here, so this must be 8 then. So this has to be 8, which means these can't be 8. The 8 is not doubled, and one of these two is doubled. It cannot be, this cannot be 2, so this has to be 9, which makes this either, the 1 double doesn't make any sense. It cannot be 3 doubled, and it cannot be 5 doubled here. Because if it's 3 doubled, it's with a 3, and that, well, it also has a 3 already here, being doubled. So this cannot be doubled, which means this is a 3 or 5, right? If this were 1 doubled, it would have to be with a 7, but this can't be 7. If this is a 3 doubled, it would have to be with a 3, which can't be because obviously it's already 3. And if it's 5 doubled, that's already 10, which doesn't work. So this must be doubled, and it must be the 1. So this can't be 1. This is 3 or 5. 3 or 5 has to be with 4 or 6 to add up to 9. This can't be 1. This can't be 8. This becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a possibility because it cannot be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever this is cannot be doubled, right? If this were doubled, it can't work with 2 or 6. So this has to be 3 or 4, not doubled. This is not doubled either. So therefore this must be doubled, and it must be the 5. Makes that a 9. Neither of these can be doubled. And this can't be 5 anymore, so this is 3, this is 5, this is 3. 3 and 6 add up to 9, so this is 6. This can't be 3 or 6, so this is 4 or 5. This can't be 3 or 6, so this is 4 or 5. This can't be 6. I don't know where this goes to, so that doesn't really help us much. This could be the circle. Unlikely, though. Or this could be the circle, I guess. Okay, this cannot be 2 and 4. Because in this space, neither 2 nor 4 are being doubled here. But this has to have a 3 doubled, because it can only be 3, 6, or 7, and the 6 or 7 are already doubled. Therefore, where are the 2 and the 4 being doubled? The 2 and the 4 have to be doubled here and here. But if this is 2, 4, neither 2, 4 are being doubled in this space, and that doesn't work. So this has to be 6, which makes this a 3. Which makes this 5, which makes that a 3, which makes that 5. This can't be 6. This can't be 3 or 5. This can't be 3 or 5. Well, if this is not doubled, this is not going to work, right? This is at least 4 or 5. And if this is not doubled, this would be 4. And so therefore, this would be 4 plus another value, which would be at least 1. So therefore, this must be doubled. It cannot be 2 doubled because that's only 4 in value. Therefore, this must be the 4 that's doubled, which means this can't be 4. If this were 4, this would have to also be 4, which breaks Sudoku rules. So this must be specifically 5 and 3, adding up to 8 doubled. This cannot be doubled anymore. Cannot be doubled anymore. This can't be doubled anymore. So this has to be a 6. This can't be 3 or 6. So this must be 7, which makes this a 3. And this is the doubled 3. So therefore, this is not doubled. These are not doubled. And therefore, this must be the last double cell. So it must be a 2. Which makes this 1, makes that 2, makes that 1, makes that 2, makes that 1, makes that 2. This has to be a 4. This can't be 3, so this is 4. This can't be 3 or 4, so this is 8. This can't be 4 or 8, so this is 3. This can't be 2, so it's 1 or 6. This is 1 or 6 also, but this can't be 5. This can't be 4 anymore, so this is a 5, which means this can't be 5. The remaining digits here are 7 and 9, but this can't be 9, so this is 7, this is 9, that means this can't be 7, so this is 2, this is 7, this can't be 2, so this is 6, which means that's a 1, which means that's a 2, which means that's a 6. The remaining digits here are 4, 5, and 8. This can't be 5 or 8, so this is a 4. And now we're just doing Sudoku, so this must be 8, this must be 4, this has to be a 5, this must be 8, and this must be a 1. And that's how you solve it. Yeah, I made a slight error here before, and so I did kind of mess up here. Apologies for that. That's why you have to go through everything kind of making sure you don't make some major mistakes in logic. Anyways, I hope you had a better time of this, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.